way, why would you leave Jaden Daniels?
You got to protect the kid too. That's another guy. I mean,
Well, it brings up a great question. Wiggin' whack.
Elmer Fudd clever? Don't make me laugh. The fact is, Elmer Fudd is the dumbest hunter I have ever had the pleasure to encounter.
Okay, Wabbit, we'll see whose IQ is PU.
Marriage.
Marriage is what brings us together today.
Welcome to Blow the Whistle, and we will talk about shapes and colors.
Tell you what, we'll just talk about shapes and colors now.
I think that is a good discussion to have right here.
Shapes and colors?
No.
Another thing we learn at school is how to count. Can you help me count these cars?
No.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Great job.
It's game time. Blow the Whistle. Your greatest little internet radio show everywhere you go. Always live on sportsoundchicago.com. Let's go.
And welcome, folks, here to Blow the Whistle, here on sportstownchicago.com. Happy Wednesday to everybody out there. I hope you're having a wonderful Wednesday.
Okay.
Absolutely. My name is Andrew Pepe Valentin, and I'm here with my boy.
No gimmicks, Nick Johnston.
Yeah, unfortunately, David Double D Dykstra, a little under the weather, not feeling too well.
Sure.
Yeah, that was pretty good. And Adam completely forgot in another state altogether.
Yeah.
But you know,
more forgetful in Texas.
Apparently. But unfortunately, with those two out, you got us too. You got me and Nick. So, folks, I hope you're ready for this one because we got a lot still to talk about.
Sit in, strap her down. It's Blow the Whistle time.
Absolutely. We got NFL news out the wazoo. We got Bears stuff, obviously, we have to talk about with them now in the market for a center, it looks like, as well as still on the cusp of probably getting a defensive end. You got all the moves that have been happening so far in the offseason that are not yet made, but are planned to be made. Kyler Murray, the Cowboys doing some stuff. Rams are getting a new player. All these guys getting the franchise tag and more. Very, very interesting. Going to make for an interesting free agency and offseason. And now going to really impact to see where the draft goes as well, I think. So a lot on that. And then I figure let's get into some off the rails. And, David and I kind of talked a little bit about Elimination Chamber. But I got Nick here now.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm sure Nick has some thoughts for Elimination Chamber, as raw as well to what followed. So, Nick, my man, are you ready to get into this?
I'm ready to rock and roll. Let's get this done.
Let's do this, folks. So, yes, we got to kick this off with the Bears. Starting it off right there. Drew Dalman, who unequivocally was one of the anchors to an offensive line that has vastly improved off of last season, or the previous season before this last one, was an immense part of the growth of both Caleb Williams and the offensive line as a whole. But no longer will he be with the team. As shocking as it may seem, it does happen occasionally. But at 27 years old, Drew Dalman has retired. He has called it a career, which obviously very, very shocking move. I almost didn't believe that Adam Scheffler had tweeted that when I first saw it myself.
Yeah, head scratcher.
Absolutely. But yeah, so Drew Dalman obviously out. Nick, right off the bat, man, initial thoughts, obviously losing Drew Dalman, and then we'll get into what the necessary need is now for the Bears. But thoughts?
Yeah. My initial reaction exactly was, just like anybody, I was kind of like, that's out of nowhere. That's crazy. Why? I mean, it just of his 3-year contract just signed last year for this past year. So yeah, that was, like I said, very, very questioning, very out of the blue. I don't want to get into speculating what happened, but was there like a lingering injury maybe he had, or he's just like, you know what, I don't want to deal with this. Going forward, I want to be able to just like thinking ahead. I want to be able to pick up my kids later on. I want to run around in the backyard or stuff like that when I'm when I'm 50. I don't have to want to worry about bending over and seizing up or something like that, locking up and stuff. So it could be something like that, because it has to be, because there has to have been some sort of maybe like one split-ish, like just one quick interaction, like, wow, that was a close one. That's way too close. Maybe you guys start reconsidering some stuff, because again, we tend to forget that how violent this game really is. So it is truly one wrong move and you're done for a long time. And it's also that idea of, like, again, I don't want to get in his head, but was he even really fully committed to begin with? Was he 1 foot in, 1 foot out already? And again, that one damn, that's too close. And then again, I'm sorry, keep rambling. What it feels like.
No, you're good.
You come to that crossroads of if I'm already halfway in, halfway out, which again I don't think that was him for Dalman. I'm just kind of throwing this as an example. If I'm already halfway in, halfway out, and then I get hurt, it's just gonna suck. So why should I risk half-assing it when when there's a team around me? I got all my guys, my legacy, stuff like that. So I think there's a ton of factors that could have came into it. Won't know for sure until Dalman actually comes out and speaks and says what reason made me retire, but it could be as small as that. And again, while it sucks, but I can completely understand just man to man for person to person.
No, yeah, absolutely. No, I think you hit it on the head right there, Nick. I mean, I was talking with somebody today when obviously the news broke, and we were having that conversation about, wasn't this like that linebacker? And I was like, oh, Borland, the linebacker from the San Francisco 49ers, who I believe he was with the team for a year, maybe 2 at the most. And then ultimately he retired, and people were stunned because they went, this is the guy that's going to play next to Patrick Willis. This is possibly the successor to Patrick Willis. There's just all these, everybody was coming up with this is the next top linebacker to go to the 49ers. And then it comes out, yeah, I've seen all the stories with CTE. I'm a little nervous about where my future is going to be playing that position, considering that a number of those guys that played on defense, and obviously Junior Seau being one of the big ones, he said too, was an impact on, I need to maybe consider this is not maybe the move for me, that I need to go another avenue, which understandable. Drew Dalman plays this position where the first documented case of CTE was Mike Webster, a center. That maybe that was something he thought about, or like you said, maybe there was that moment where he went, ooh, I'm seeing stars. I'm blacking out here. I'm not remembering stuff. This is not okay.
At any given time, you're slamming into another most likely 300-pound individual.
Yeah.
The amount of contact, the amount of force and pressure, I think it's always compared to a small car hitting another small car. So it's just just physically, why would you want to keep doing that to yourself? And again, it might not be one, again, going back to my example, it might not be one particular instance. It could be just a seasonal wear and tear. Why would I want to go through this again? I'm just mentally checked out. I'm exhausted. If I'm not fully committed, I just can't do this to myself and the team type deal. So again, I'm very interested to see where it's at, but ultimately I did kind of break it down in almost 3 layers of suckage, maybe 4 if you want, if you want to see it a certain way.
Okay.
But I saw it as the financial layer of suckage, starting off there, because the Bears are going to be anywhere between 9.5 to 13.5 million in dead cap after this year. So that's it's not insurmountable, but it does suck. When the Bears are trying to make moves and just maybe could have got 10 million. That's a vet that's could have thrown him on a 1 or 2 year deal with that amount of money or something like that. So in that case, again, it's not insurmountable, but that is annoying. Definitely when you're trying to make moves, it's definitely not the same. Tua's potential dead cap, I think with the Dolphins is
99 million. It's just I don't know what you do with that.
Is there a dead cap coming up with Kyler? There has to be with Kyler.
Kyler Murray, I believe, is going to have a dead cap. Okay. I don't know to what extent. I'm sure it's going to be fairly high because of what he's being paid, but not. I don't think it's to the extent of what Tua is. I think somebody said it might be somewhere in the range of 50-some million, give or take.
So I think again, it's all about guarantees. He's guaranteed 9.5 on his salary. I think an extra bonus for $4 million for bonuses, but I think they can kind of. They can contest that. They can contest the extra 4 because it's accolades and things he can't accomplish because he's not on the field.
Correct. They have to pay him the guaranteed money. The rest of the money though can actually be waived. I think they have to speak to the NFL about it, but
they have to throw it up to some sort of jury.
They will since he retired it like he did very spontaneously. There's a good chance the NFL could say, well, then we'll waive that money, which then gives the Bears a good break. Obviously,
Barry Sanders rule.
Yes, absolutely. Which is maybe where, like you said, where this could have gone. Obviously, this man could have said, you know what, I'm 27. I got a lot more life to live. Football's maybe not my thing. 5 years, made a lot of money. I'll call it. Listen, good on you. You signed the new deal and you said, before I get into the meat of this thing, let's call it while I can. So
again, not insurmountable, but not fun when the Bears were basically set at offensive line, besides maybe a tackle spot or something like that, which kind of brings up the next one, which is just team chemistry overall.
Yeah,
he's the center. He's the captain of the offensive line. Now you got to find someone else to replace him, whether that's a draft spot, maybe make a trade, a free agency move. It doesn't matter. Just on top of what you were trying to do, on top of replacing him, now it's not only that team chemistry on the offensive line, but it's that chemistry between he and Caleb that needs to be done again. Which again, I don't want to keep hammering on Caleb. The greats in every game find a way to overcome all this small stuff, but again, it's just one of those things where having not having your center wasn't on the horizon for the Bears.
Right,
it's just another thing for them to
kind of not in the plans.
Like, all right, again, I gotta make another small. It goes back to like
there's always something that seems like there's that gnat or that mosquito that just comes out of nowhere and bites you, and then you're like, this is really getting sore and red. Like, why? And
I'm probably oversimplifying it. I feel like in any team, any player individually, you're gonna have your advanced goals, like what you really want to like. Your specific, like, oh, I want to throw for 5,000 yards. I want to throw for 40 touchdowns or whatever. Now he's got to back up again and go back to small goals of like, oh, how can I just create chemistry with my teammate again? Right. How can we better communicate today?
How can I like cadence?
Yeah, exactly.
I gotta understand how his snap works. Yeah.
We gotta go back to those small goals for that, just a backtrack again when you can be like, no, we got all the guys, we can make the next big step. Now we gotta take a little back detour. So I feel like that is annoying, but again, if Caleb is as great as we say he is, he will overcome it simply, but it just is annoying when you want to focus on the X's and O's, and here comes a situation like this. And finally, just what is the team focus acquisition wise? Like priority becomes number one for getting a center, or does it go back to getting that defensive end?
Right.
Or is it replacing what we're going to give up in that potential defensive end trade? What then becomes the number one goal, which I don't really know. It's kind of tough considering like, it could have that first round pick here, that third round pick here. Maybe now we have to hold on to it because now we got to go find a new center.
No,
and I heard this draft is pretty stacked with centers.
No, yeah, I was just going to say this free agent class for centers, thankfully, because Washington dropped their man, Tyler Baidez, I think is how you say his name. I might have butchered that. I apologize, but he's one of the top centers rated in the NFL. Obviously, Tyler Linderbaum is going to be probably the highest paid center maybe in the NFL. Like he's projected at like 4 years, $80 million a piece, which would be nice, obviously, if the Bears could do that. But if you're Chicago and you're going, we just had this really nice deal set up for us with Drew Dalman, and he did an excellent job. He earned the Pro Bowl, all that stuff. Obviously, this is a guy who is, he's Alex Mack level, capable center. You want that dude. Like, this is a guy who can, I think, weird to say, I know, but a center that can actually help you get to a championship because he can make that extra block to open the hole for the run, for the touchdown from a Nungai or Swift or whoever it might be, or Caleb even, right? Something. So it's like, well, do you want to spend the money on that? Do you want to go get Baidez? Do you want to find another center that might be out there as well? I mean, and there is other guys in this group. It's just those two that kind of stand out, right? There's also Graham Glasgow, who's from the Lions, so you're kind of used to that name. There are Brian Posick, who's kind of just been around the league for a long time as well. There's also Connor McGovern, who's like an underrated center. Like he could be a cheaper option that has done a great job. I believe he's with Buffalo. He was with Buffalo, if I'm not mistaken. But he's a vet, and he's a vet that has been to the playoffs numerous times. So, that'd be good for a young quarterback still trying to figure things out for Caleb. But it does, like you said, it brings up the interesting point on, well, now what do you go get? Like, where does the money get spent at? Because you take on Max Crosby's contract, like people have said, and trade for him. Okay, like then you have to trade DJ Moore, I feel like, to counteract the money there. And then you have to restructure deals probably to get that to work.
Yeah, which I've heard that they're probably going to restructure Cole Kmet's contract considering his usage. It's just not going to be the same.
Makes him a more tradable target, too. Like, if you want to make a move for him, okay, better I pay this much than what he's right at right now.
Yeah, and I think we're all on the same page where DJ Moore is expendable almost at this point. Like
keep him if you can, but if you get the
Yeah.
right offer, I mean,
he's I'm sure he's good. He's good to have, to be a vet and to keep these guys in line. And
if you got a rookie quarterback coming in, you think he's perfect for that guy.
Yeah. In Mendoza, shipping him off to the Raiders because it would just be him and Bowers catching passes and Genty running the ball. So
basically,
and where I would say, hey, like the goal anyway would have been for Rome, like, hey, you're gonna become the true number one this year with or without DJ Moore here,
right?
Like you just need to make that next step up, and I feel like even Luther Burden in turn would just be like, he'd be like, yeah, I'm not gonna be the number one, but maybe I could be the number one. I don't know. I feel like he's got that personality.
Absolutely, he's got that number one wide receiver energy.
Yeah. I feel like his only problem is maybe if you probably I'd have to for sure watch it myself, but on most of his drops it feels like he's moving without the ball type deal. So again, that's that's fixable. But yeah, like
he was a rookie for what he did as a rookie. I mean, most people were kind of like, this is why he maybe should have gone in the first round. Like how many teams are probably kicking themselves right now?
Loveland ended up being the top receiver, not just like in the second half, just all year long.
Yeah,
he was the number one
took
receiver.
Every number.
Yeah, he had everything. So if we're going that route of basically, Colson Loveland is the new Sam Laporta, I think, again, I feel that as though that DJ Moore is replaceable. His lowest and the career numbers and all that is going to be definitely duplicated again by somebody else.
There's no doubt you can find another wide receiver in this draft too if you feel like, all right, we're moving on from Moore. We're going to promote Luther Burden. We need a new slot receiver. Hey, this is kind of the draft where if a Jermaine Bernard's there from Alabama or any of these other guys that might be there in the second round or something like that, and you feel like that's another need, go for it.
And I don't want it to be like a Shaq on the Celtics picture or Tracy McGrady on the Spurs.
Yeah.
But can we what's stopping the Bears from making a move like a DeAndre Hopkins type level where he's a little bit of a vet and goes over, or
somebody that can still make plays, but you don't have to say we have to go to him all the time.
It won't be a guy. It won't be either of these names, but a guy like Brandon Cooks who just went over to Buffalo. Veteran status. But clearly can still help, and was helping Josh Allen a ton until that reception that wasn't an interception.
I mean, no, absolutely. I mean, listen, if you can get a guy like Debo would be a little hard, but I mean,
that's not the worst. Yeah, that's not the worst one either.
Yeah, I mean, a Juwan Jennings, Rashid Shaheed, DeAndre Hopkins is one you mentioned. Greg Dortch, he wouldn't be too bad. Like somebody
who's a deep ball guy.
Yeah, exactly. Like there are guys in here that you can go get cheap on pennies on the dollar that can provide that extra level, and that can help in some capacity for that passing game.
Sorry, Alamide, I just don't trust you. Zacchaeus, I just don't trust him, my man. He had some big passes dropped this year. So.
He's a smaller version, I would say, of what Equanimeous St. Brown was back when he was with the Bears. Like, you're not gonna really throw the ball to him, but you need him to block on a run. He can sure do it, but the hands, he's kind of got like. Ah, shucks. I just missed it. It's like, man, you got to catch. But
it's that SNL. You ever see the SNL with J.J. Watt when he's reading?
Yes.
Oh, darn it. I just missed him.
Oh, whoopsies. Yeah. What is this stuff I'm reading, guys? Come on. I don't even say this at all.
Man, he really is fast. He's faster than me.
It does feel like that with him, honestly. Like anytime he just always has that my bad, guys. And at one point I'm hoping just at some point somebody's just going, stop saying my bad. Don't say my bad. Just be better. Or get off the field.
Yeah.
But yeah, we listen, for the Bears, this is something that now becomes a giant question mark for them. How much will this also impact the team? Like you said, with chemistry on the offensive line. Trapilo right now looking like he's going to be out for a good majority of the season as well. So you're looking at possibly needing another tackle to sign. Possibly now you need a center to go out getting somebody, be it the draft or free agency. And you're possibly still trying to get a deal done for Max Crosby.
Yeah.
And I got a question I will say early from somebody who was asking, can the Bears accomplish getting all of these things potentially that they need to help the team? And I was like, I think it's possible, but you're going to have to move some people.
Yeah.
Like the cutting, Tremaine Edmonds is now going to be a big impact because of the money that you can gain from that. You're going to have to think maybe about restructuring TJ Edwards' contract maybe too, along with Cole Kmet's. Like the more money you can free up, I think is going to be the better option for them going forward. Because at this point, getting somebody in the draft when you're feeling like you might be close enough to go and get the title, if that's the goal, if you're saying we won the division last year, we won a playoff game, we were on the cusp, we're on the brink, let's do this now, because Caleb is still on his rookie contract. And that is the key right now for every team out there. Either get it while he's on a rookie contract, or you better be able to have a deal with him where you can work it out that it looks pretty. Because once you pay the quarterback, whew, man, you better have 49ers coaching ability, which maybe Ben Johnson does. Maybe he does, but like I feel like the Brock Purdy deal at some point is going to bite them in the butt, beyond what it already has, if that.
Yeah, I was just trying to pull up still next team odds for Crosby, and again, this is where my head's at. I said this yesterday. Sports books aren't going to put these odds the way that they are for a reason.
Right.
If they didn't have like superior knowledge, that is most likely going to happen. So the Bears are still minus 145 on DraftKings right now for Max Crosby's next team to be the Bears. So that's kind of where my head's at. It's not like a matter of like, if it's going to be when, and it's probably going to be I would think hopefully by the end of this week, there's probably a deal
that would
done.
It sounds like there's a lot of push being made now to get a deal done sooner rather than later before free agency opens up. So,
well, the third team on here is the Cowboys.
I've
+800,
heard that so much.
Who have also made some moves. They
absolutely
restructured Dak's contract,
CD Lamb's and Tyler Smith's, which it's not a bad option. Is that the move that puts the Cowboys back in the hunt for the playoffs and a championship? Because, I think he's right there with Micah Parsons, sure, as far as a playmaker at that level, at that defensive end spot. But the Cowboys have they have so much inconsistency in that game right now. Dak's getting older. Is CeeDee Lamb happy? Do you think you can keep George Pickens on the long-term deal? Because you just got him on the franchise tag.
And I don't know if the reports are true. Is it he's not happy about being a franchise tag?
No, he wants. Well, listen. I don't think any player is going to be happy with just the tag, right? You want security.
Yeah.
So, from what I understand, he's looking for a 4 or 5 year deal, but he's looking to be a top paid wide receiver because you were just one of the top wide.
He had a great year.
He had a great year, and this is where it's kind of okay, but so then are they going to keep him, or are they going to try and use the tag as bait to see if somebody needs a number one wide receiver? Because you can trade guys while they're on the franchise tag. That's not out of question. It's just, do they? This is where you got to ask Jerry Jones, do you want this guy and get a deal done, or are you planning on doing something else? And then you got to ask yourself, well, then who's your number 2 wide receiver? I don't even know who their number 1 corner is. You can say Deron Bland, but all right, you let Diggs go.
Okay, yeah.
They have so many other things you have to focus on. Is Max Crosby the answer, or is he just come on, we're gonna, and now we have the Max Crosby part of the entertainment? Is that? I don't know where they're at. That's the issue.
And this is the time to. You see the Giants trying to make a little moves here and there. I still don't really see them as contenders, but if there was ever a time that the Eagles were on the ropes, it probably would be now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Internally, there's just a dumpster fire. They're more than likely moving AJ Brown. It's looking like a good time to strike now if you're gonna, try to get the crown.
Yeah, absolutely. If you're gonna go for it, this is when the Kings are now struggling to get on the throne. Here's your chance to be able to throw them aside and say, "Move over. I'm gonna take the seat." But that's the thing is the Giants. They're rebuilding. Washington, I think it's a down year. I think they'll be back somewhat into form. We'll have to see. They've got a lot
back to playing 500 ball.
Yeah, or I would say at least if anything, they're 9-8. They're getting back into just above. But this is prime. Okay, they're our rivals. We have to take them down. Why not make the push? But is that the move that does it?
If the Eagles get rid of AJ Brown, do you feel? Does that not feel like the Dallas? Maybe just on the offensive side. Maybe I have to really look at the defense. But
yeah.
Does it not feel like the Eagles are that the Cowboys are the better team, just almost automatically? Because
if George Pickens is staying on the squad, if that's what we're saying, then yeah, even as it stands right now, I would say they are the better team. If A.J. Brown is in fact out, you get Max Crosby, they should be the favorite to win that division, I would say. Because, like you said, the Eagles, there's a lot of dysfunction. If A.J. Brown's not happy, they clearly favor Devonta Smith. I don't know what's going on with Jalen Hurts. Apparently, a lot of people are not happy with that dude.
Lose Dallas Goedert, too.
Yeah, he sounds like he's headed to free agency as well.
He's coming off his biggthis season. He had 11 touchdowns this year. So.
Thank you, Dallas Goedert, but you didn't get me the championship, which stinks. But this is a wild situation that now everybody finds them in, because it sounds like everybody is interested in calling about Max Crosby, but it sounds like also the Raiders are still kind of like, Spytek said we'd like to keep him for the future, which is, I think, why he said to first to see who's willing to go all in on this guy, because that's enough to scare a lot of teams away. Like, if you know, like, that's not going to solve our issue, but if you're saying we're going for a title, you're definitely paying that amount of money for a guy of his caliber. You're definitely going to do it for sure.
He's a play wrecker. He's a game changer to the same extent of Myles Garrett. No, I don't think anyone can really get there.
That's tough. That's very tough.
But to just have that almost, again, compared to like he can hit that Micah Parsons level of being a game changer, being a play record to the point where, like, we're not going to run to that side at all.
No.
So
he's a problem.
So he in like that question of like, oh, is he really worth it? Yes, he's very much worth it. I think he's very much worth what they're asking for. And what the Bears can give up, I think we can get by and still be exactly where we were, if not better, than finishing in the AFC Championship losers or something like that.
Yeah, if you're truly believe that this coaching staff is as good as it is, and last year kind of speaks to a lot of volumes on that, and they being the owners in front office atop of Ryan Poles believe that he is a good enough general manager to find those diamonds in the rough and get those top players and make these deals done, then you do it.
And can I just say, with a guy like Ben Johnson, did you see this? Did you hear about this? I traveled and visited the Chicago Bulls.
Oh, yeah.
Right before they played Milwaukee.
Yep.
And that game, they gave him a jersey, gave him out center court, celebrated him. But what did the Bulls do? They snapped their 11-game losing streak that day.
I was going to say, they had like a 27-0 run to just run the Bucks out of town, basically. I mean,
I'm just kind of throwing out there, wherever this guy goes, Ben Johnson, winning happens. So whether that's at the UC, whether it's over at Soldier, he's getting it done. He's getting it done.
Can he coach basketball too? I'd be more than happy. It'd be so much nicer, because I'm trying. Listen, I'm now with football season over, I'm trying to watch more of the NBA games. Trying to watch Bulls games has really been a chore. Yeah, it has. We should get paid to watch this team.
I kind of do.
Yeah, right. Well, you definitely kind of do. I'm watching it from my laptop, going like, there's got to be something else on. Like, this is what's Netflix got, and I'm just like, oh, I've seen this all. All right, I'll keep watching the team. Painful, but guys, let us know what you think about the Bears. Obviously, blow to whistle so one on all the social media stuff. We want to hear from you guys. When we come back, quarterbacks getting cut, money's getting moved, franchise tags being placed. We're going to go over all that and more for the NFL free agency upcoming here on Blow the Whistle on SportsTownChicago.com.
Chicago sports for sure.
SportsTownChicago.com.
It's the summer of coffee at Dunkin' Donuts. To reach peak summer mode, you need your summer coffee. Like a smooth, new s'mores frozen Dunkin' coffee, a refreshing butter pecan iced coffee, or a sweet coconut cream by cold brew. What could be better than an iced or frozen coffee on a hot summer day? Nothing. Dunkin' Donuts has all your favorite flavors this summer. So come enjoy the summer of coffee and keep cool out there, kids. America runs on Dunkin'. Price and participation may vary. Limited time offer.
When car dealers fight for your business, you win. AutoJudo.com makes car buying fun by letting dealers compete for your business live. Real-time Auto Judo fights are the fast and easy new way to get multiple dealers' best offer on any car you want. It's free and anonymous. Only the dealer you select as the winner of your Auto Judo fight receives your contact info. You're never obligated to buy, so test drive your best deals now at AutoJudo.com. Dealers fight, you save.
Yo, check it out. We got the finest pizza in all the land. Italian Fiesta is on deck, and I'm telling you, it's a hit. These pies don't miss. No matter what time you get the munchies. Pepperoni, extra cheese, turkey Italian sausage, they got all the toppings. Italian Fiesta delivers until midnight during the week and 1 a.m. on the weekends. Plus, you can use your Uber Eats or Grubhub if you got the app. And if you ain't rocking with the pizza that night, try one of their sandwiches or pasta. And they have plenty of side dishes, just like me, if you know what I mean. Hop online and go to ItalianFiesta.com or call 773-684-2222. Piece of pizza, that is.
There's only one place to watch your favorite sports team and have mouth-watering pizza. Come on down to Moretti's Pizzeria, where you can get a pizza for half the price every Tuesday. Try out our delicious varieties of pizza, sandwiches, and much more. I don't know about you, but a gooey mac and cheese pizza with a size of cheesy mozzarella sticks and watching sports sounds like paradise to me. Stop by at one of our 12 locations near you. We're open 7 days a week, anywhere from 10:30 a.m. to midnight. Visit our website, Moretti'sRestaurants.com, for delivery, catering, and even private parties. Moretti's, we bring the fun.
Did you know that Club New in Aurora is the ultimate entertainment complex? Monday nights, it's free football and darts in the sports bar. Tuesday night is league night. Join the pool and darts team. Wednesday night is ladies' night at Club New. All the ladies get in free. Gentlemen pay a $5 cover after 9 p.m. Thursday night starts the weekend off right with college flashback night. Low price drinks, retro music, and an awesome buffet. Friday and Saturday night, it's the hottest dance club in the suburbs. Club New Nightclub and Sports Bar is located at 2121 New York Street in Aurora.
You've tried the hit places, but they leave you hungry with an empty wallet. That's where Gretel comes in. They got what you really want. Visit their chic, lounge-like gastropub and try one of Chicago's top burgers, the Gretel Griddle Burger. The house-made bun and garlic aioli set this one apart from the rest. And don't miss half-price oysters, 4 to 6, Monday through Thursday. With rotating drafts, craft cocktails, and portions that don't skip. This is one of Logan Square's best-kept secrets. Monday through Thursday, 11 to midnight. Friday and Saturday, open to 1. 2833 West Armitage. Gretel, let's make this a night. Visit GretelChicago.com for menu and more.
Welcome back, everybody, here to Blow the Whistle on SportsTownChicago.com. I'm Andrew Pepe Valentine. I'm here with No Gimmicks Nick Johnston. And we just got done talking about the Bears and a little bit of a conundrum they fall into now with Drew Dalman retiring. But, folks, they are not the only ones that obviously could find themselves in a bit of a hole. A lot of teams in the NFL have been making their wheels and deals with only four franchise tags being used this season, with one of them being a transition tag on
Daniel Jones.
On Daniel Jones. I couldn't even get the words out of my mouth. Like, I was like, hold on a second.
You might have to inform me. Is that just because he's hurt?
I believe so, yes.
Okay.
The idea is I think they're going to still try to work out a deal that's comparable to what he wants, which he's valued around like $40 million a year as a quarterback. What? I know.
What deal did he sign?
That's the value he's at right now. That's approximate value according to sportstrack.com. Keep that in mind. So I don't know if that's exactly what he's asking for. I think it's going to be somewhere more in the range of like what we see guys like Baker Mayfield and Sam Darnold taking, where it's, it's $30 million with incentives kind of added on kind of thing. But yeah, some transition tags, franchise tags we can use, and we'll dive into all of those. But somebody who unfortunately is not going to have a job with his old team is going to be Kyler Murray. Because if you don't know this, I don't know how many people know this, he's been struggling a little bit in Arizona when it comes to consistent play, staying healthy, staying away from the news headlines as far as whether or not he's actually watching tape or playing video games. There's a lot to this guy that was both fascinating when he came out and now has kind of been like, why is he still with the team? Like, it's been a lot of that. But it has been recently said that the Cardinals will be releasing Kyler Murray once at a certain point in time. I believe it's by next week or by this week. I think it is that they'll be releasing. So, yeah. So with that, then Kyler Murray is going to be hitting the free agent scene, which I believe he's 26, 27.
Yeah, he's 28 right now.
He's 28. Okay, he's 28 years old, so still in his prime. But obviously he's only had about 121 touchdowns or so. Almost half as many interceptions or something like that. Like 2 Pro Bowls. Like, he's been to the playoffs. There's good with him, and then there's also the bad with him. But Nick, we've kind of talked about him a little bit here and there over the past season that we just had. From your perspective, obviously Cardinals releasing Kyler Murray. where do you see his future now that he's entering free agency for the first time? Is there a future you see for Kyler Murray potentially?
Oh, I definitely still see him as a starter somewhere.
Okay.
There's definitely a couple teams he can definitely just jump right in. There's a couple teams that are not already even, excuse me, there's a couple teams that he's like not even on their radar, but probably should be starting over for them, I'm sure. But the contenders I kind of see right now, for front runner right now, not the most exciting for us as well. For myself as a Bears fan, the Vikings are the leader.
Yeah,
and, you know, a pretty nice core to throw to, including Justin Jefferson. But considering his Marvin Harrison Jr. usage, not really too scared of that.
Yeah.
The next one would have to be the Jets. Again, these are all just according to the DraftKings Sportsbook in terms of their odds of, again, team's next player,
right?
Player's next team. So Vikings and then Jets at plus 175, which, I mean, that's just, again, that
feels like disaster.
Career suicide going over there in any sort of way. I wouldn't want to go over there for any reason. Unfortunately, Breece Hall is kind of like that. It's the trap kitten inside that bodega when the guy's going, I'm going to get you out. I'm going to get you out of here. I don't care. Whatever it takes.
That might be one of the best analogies I've ever heard for something like that.
That's kind of where I'm at with Breece. I love him. And the same thing with Garrett, Garrett Wilson, too. So there's pieces in New York, but it's just like actually following through and having anything, when pen hits paper, that just when it all falls apart.
It's far and few in between there.
The next one again would maybe be the Dolphins, they're also most likely going to cut, or if they haven't already cut Tua.
They haven't said anything yet, which I won't. We'll get into here soon because that situation is. I don't know what they're going to do, but I want us to examine that a little bit further.
And then finally, the team I see here is the Browns, which, again,
let's add another one to the list.
Anyone can fall in there and become the new
Kyler, Deshaun, Shador, Dylan. Like, who else are you going to get?
Yeah. But my question, maybe to flip it back to you, is
sure.
With Malik Willis being the number one free agent. And if it wasn't him, if Tyson Bagent wasn't on a contract, it most likely would have been him as the top, not just top quarterback, top free agent this entire free agency class, most likely. Do you prioritize if you're a team, you're like, hey, let me take maybe a cheaper stab at Malik Willis, who kind of has that same qualities, a little bit bigger, or do I rely on first round pick, number one first round pick caliber Still, that talent is inside Kyler. Maybe that just needs to get unlocked in a different way. I don't know which one you would be leaning towards.
That's such a hard question because Malik Willis has shown, at least with the Packers, he showed that there is that talent, I think, to play in the NFL. Whether or not that is as a full-time starting quarterback, I think is obviously the big question, right? And
bus driver mentality.
Yeah.
I guess not that superstar that's going to put you over the top.
Kind of,
sometimes you just need a bus driver.
No, yeah, absolutely. I mean, listen,
you got to get from point A to point B.
There's a lot of those guys in the NFL right now. Like, let's be very honest here. Not every quarterback right now riding in the NFL as a starter is a superstar. Okay, some of these guys are just, like you said, they're kind of just driving it along and hoping they don't hit any potholes and no kids go flying out of the window or something like that. I don't know, but Malik Willis, I said this on X-Bomb on Friday. He feels like Matt Flynn, where we just saw enough games where it's like you can get entertained by it, but do you want, like, the Matt Flynn thing, obviously, I think has scared a lot of people to say, okay, don't get fooled by this. Like, give him
that even got me as a kid. I watched that game as not a toddler, but I think I was still single digits in age wise. I go, wow, some team is probably going to want him.
No, absolutely. Listen, I was sitting there with a bunch of my buddies. We're watching it at someone's house during a party, and we're going like, Matt Flynn looks pretty good. And then obviously he gets to deal with the Seahawks, and you go, oh, here we go. The Seahawks got a quarterback, but then also, and everyone's like, Russell Wilson, who? And then obviously things happened, and Matt Flynn just kind of became another pony for the show. But I think if you are a team and you're saying, look, do we want to spend the money and just bring in competition for a quarterback? Then yeah, Malik Willis is great for it. Kyler Murray feels like the kind of guy that needs to go to structure.
Okay,
where
I can see that.
Where I think that's where Minnesota plays perfectly into that, because you have a coach who I think is good in Kevin O'Connell. I don't know if he's great, but let's say he's good.
He's a QB.
He's a QB guru.
whisperer.
Yeah, he has that ability. Obviously, JJ McCarthy, it's not working, but
That's
something might be missing.
It's like
there.
a manufacturer error on JJ.
Yes, it's unfortunately he's not the guy that we.
I'm putting him in a box, but return to sender.
Yes, exactly. Can he go back to Michigan? Maybe. Listen, if the NBA players can go back to college, why not NFL go back to college, right? Kyler Murray, and then obviously, like you said, the weapons there. Justin Jefferson. I don't know if they're going to keep Jordan Addison, but if they do, that gives him just another piece. TJ Hawkinson's always a consistent guy. Obviously, the running game now becomes a concern for them because it sounds like Aaron Jones will be released from the team. And then their defense also becomes a question too because Jonathan Greenard has also now been traded now they are seeking a trade for Jonathan Greenard. They haven't cut him or anything yet, but they're looking for a trade for him. So the Vikings are clearly trying to readjust some things to maybe open up some money themselves, which is maybe where they say, hey, maybe we give a flyer on Kyler. You're not going to have to pay him a bunch of money anyways, I don't think. Yeah. My thinking would be, a 2-year deal?
Yeah.
Like kind of a prove-it thing like we saw with Justin Fields. And I would say he's definitely better than Justin Fields by a good long shot.
I think the smart route for the Vikings would be if you're leaning towards getting a quarterback off this current free agency list, probably go Murray, or not free agency list, but cut list and whatnot.
Yeah, right.
But if you want to complete the Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers complete crossover, then you got to go with Rodgers.
That's if
you got to go with Rodgers.
If he's sticking around though.
Yeah,
I know he was on Pat McAfee being like, I don't know what I'm going to do with my future. Just say what you're going to do, man. Enough with this kind of like, we're going to tippy-toe around this. Like, retire or don't.
Now, I like that you said he should go to a place with structure. Let me throw a long shot out for you.
Okay.
And this is from Mike Florio from Pro Football Talk. He has the Rams as a long shot, and that's only because, obviously, Matthew Stafford getting a little older, could become the replacement. Is Jimmy Garoppolo really that true backup that you want to, rely on type deal?
I'm going to say no right off the bat on that. But
a little bit of a stretch, but this is still here.
Mm-hmm.
Kyler Murray's former head coach in Arizona, Cliff Kingsbury, now currently on staff with the Rams.
Correct.
And in that same breath, again, this is kind of where don't break your back stretching on this one, but former Oklahoma teammate Baker Mayfield had his small little cup of coffee at the Rams before he kind of had a resurgence and had his career revamp in Tampa. So
yeah.
They see again I think that comparison is just like there's a way to get there. There's a path to get there.
Correct.
But even if just being here for a week is good enough, to get my head reset and be like,
this is
maybe
true.
I can do this.
No, I like that. Honestly, that long shot could actually be very fair. Like you said right there, all the elements are set up to be the possible successor to Matthew Stafford. And it would possibly give Matthew Stafford a reason to be able to say, like, all right, I've done enough in my career. I mean, Sean McVay would probably love a guy like him. Obviously small, yeah, but you put him in a position where you say, this is how the offense works. We're going to fine-tune some things around you. Cliff. I know he's also been friends with Nate Scheelhaas from quarterback camps and things like that. Like, they know each other. So you have a lot of interconnecting webs there to say that Kyler to the Rams, I don't think it's that far-fetched. I think Florio might be onto something. But, yeah, the Jets, the Dolphins, the Browns.
Yeah.
You're putting him in a situation, and I even heard the Raiders. Those are all situations that the teams are completely blown up, crestfallen, like down on their luck teams. There's no one in charge. You don't know who's driving the bus in that situation. And this is a guy you'd throw in there and basically be like, help us. And it's like, help you how? Yeah. With what? What do you have?
And we already brought up his age, but if by the time the season starts, he's going to be 29. So
exactly.
He's 28 now. He's going to be 29 by the time the season starts. So it's a matter of, that mobile quarterback, how mobile are you going to be by the time you're 30,
right?
30 plus, and that kind of then flips it to, well, how much like real leeway do you have to stand on to be like, oh yeah, I can make the negotiations, when you're like, no, based on your skill set, and basically it's going to deteriorate, but by the time you maybe see the field, you don't actually have a lot of leeway here to negotiate. So I don't know how many, I don't know if his options then become so limited that he would really worry about that, but I don't know if he's going to have the upper hand going into a lot of these negotiations.
No, I mean, if you're talking about Minnesota, I mean, I think you're still saying in Minnesota, you're like, look, you're kind of like the guy we're looking forward to being there, but it's still a competition. Like, I don't think you sign him and just say you get the starting job. Like, yeah, you want to still give JJ McCarthy a chance to kind of prove himself, because regardless, I don't think you're trading him away or anything just yet. You want to keep him as kind of being like backup option, maybe, if anything. Like, he knows the offense. I mean, his first year as a starter. Like, let's give him another year, see what he can do, right? Yeah. But bringing competition to kind of push that. The Rams, you're not going to have any pushing power. You're going to have to take what they got. Like, that's ultimately there. Any of those other teams, yeah, you can overpower them, because it's like, well, what else do you have? You want to go with Shador? You're possibly getting rid of Tua in Miami? Like, you want to stick with Geno Smith? Like, but that's, again, if the Raiders aren't taking Mendoza. I think they should explore, but I think they're probably taking the kid. They're desperate. So I don't think they're that desperate for Kyler Murray. But I think you're right. It's a matter of just, you're going to have to kind of hold your breath and hope that you can maybe get what you want. And if you don't, that's when you breathe and kind of go, okay, I'll take this deal, essentially. And look, at the end of the day, it might be the best thing for you, because who knows? You might look at what happens. Like you said, Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold, you go down the list. How many guys have found another, even Mac Jones? Some of these guys go to different places and all of a sudden they find another level to their career. Mac Jones still might get a deal. He might be able to go somewhere and be somebody. Again, though, structure is important, but it's gonna be interesting with him, because here's the other thing. Like David has mentioned before too, Oakland / Las Vegas A's still hold his rights. So
even for all these years, really?
Yeah, they still have his rights.
Okay.
I forgot how long the draft rights do last. I think it's coming to the end though. If you find it, but I think it might be coming to the end. But yes, they still hold his draft rights. Is there a potential possibility? I guess maybe he could go back to baseball. I mean, at 28 years old, still seems to have a good arm. Obviously, from what he says, he's still kind of in that baseball shape-esque. He uses a lot of the workouts to kind of keep himself in shape during the season and into the offseason. So I don't know. Is there exploring the possibility of maybe doing a Michael Jordan-esque kind of move to say that he goes to a team that obviously holds his rights still and possibly explores the baseball thing? I don't know. It feels like a weird possibility still. Like maybe he does say like, all right, I'll try this. Like Tim Tebow did it. And, why can't I do it? I was drafted in the first round. Like I don't know. It's an interesting avenue to see if he would go in.
Yeah, the AI overview, I just typed into the A, still have the rights to Kyler Murray. It says, yes, as of March 2026, the Oakland Athletics still hold the MLB rights to Kyler Murray, although they chose NFL, be drafted 9th overall.
Right.
The A's placed him on a restricted list to retain his rights remaining. It doesn't say how long. So
I think he's got like maybe one more year or two or something like that.
It's not telling me.
I can't remember what it was, but yeah, they hold his rights still to a certain degree, and then at that point he can go in as a free agent, and obviously if he wants to explore the baseball scene. But I don't know if he would go that route, because he's not going to be making a lot of money right now, obviously, in baseball, I don't think.
I mean, unless he's hitting the batting cages,
he says he is.
It'd be tough to go from being on the NFL field like, oh, here's Tariq Skubal. No.
Yeah,
here's Paul Skeens.
That is a hard ask, especially for a franchise like them where, was it like Nick Kurtz? Do they even still have Brent Rooker?
I think they still do.
Okay, I was like, it's those two guys, I think. And then who?
Zach Geloff.
Maybe. My point exactly. Yeah. Like, I think their next top player is probably DeVries or whatever that kid's name is in minor league ball. Like, I don't know. Like, maybe he could. He says he's still been doing, like, batting cage work and, like, taking ground balls on, like, his own fun time. But to translate your own fun time to an MLB workout, I don't know, especially right now with the season being on the line. What are you doing? You bringing him in now, or
it's fun? It's just a hobby.
Yeah, it's just a hobby. Is it, or is it like some people's life work? Like guys are gonna. I don't know. This is the other thing. I don't know how many guys on the A's would be like, I've worked my whole life for this, and you just get to come in and be the shortstop, or I don't know, whatever he would probably play, something like that,
Probably.
second base. He played
Definitely be an infield.
Yeah, I feel like at this point you don't have many options, but yeah, I don't know. The idea of him going from NFL starting quarterback to probably like a 220, maybe at not even that, probably like a 12-5 hitting shortstop.
I'm sorry. I'm just reading this quote.
No,
right
yeah.
here. Kyler Murray apologized to fans ahead of expected release. The quote was, "I am sorry, I failed us." Oh,
Yeah, that's, you know what? That's nice. You took responsibility, I guess, for your actions in some kind of degree. You failed Marvin Harrison Jr., that's for sure. I mean, for all that kid had to do everything under the sun to be able to make himself look good. So, props to him. But yeah, Arizona now obviously going to be in the market for a quarterback. So does this change things for the draft? I mean, boy, this is where Trinidad Chambliss really come in handy if you just didn't want to keep playing college ball, along with Joey Aguilar and apparently now Chandler Morris and any other player apparently that doesn't want to leave school. Everybody just wants to be Van Wilder. Everybody does. But outside of that, I mean, Nick, for you, obviously, free agency is coming up here very soon. We did see some tags. We also saw some teams that are probably going to get some cuts done. Mekhi Becton was the latest one of that. Is there anybody that maybe hasn't been reported yet? I don't know how much you've been keeping up with like the cuts and the releases and the tags and all that. Is there anybody, though, that kind of surprised you that they didn't get the tag or is getting released or it hasn't gotten released at all? Like,
the big one had to be David Montgomery kind of coming out of nowhere, getting traded over to Houston. That was like
broke Jahmyr Gibbs' heart.
Yeah, I mean the report when I saw it, I was of course when I read most of my news on the toilet, I'm scrolling, I'm scrolling. I see one. Yeah, the report being exactly that, like, hey, he wants out, and then like scroll a little bit more, still on the same Facebook feed,
Yeah,
and it's just David Montgomery's like, no, I don't want out, and then maybe 2 hours later, it's like, boom, finalized. He's going to Texas for whatever a fourth and something else for a player.
Yeah, it was a guard. I can't even remember who it was, but yeah, that was definitely shocking. I
stiff competition for Woody down there.
Yes, it is. Very, very good. That was good. I liked it. No, that one definitely threw me for a loop. There's a lot of moves that have been made so far. Like Titus Howard, they traded him away. The Texans traded him away, which is a little shocking. But okay,
They let go. Marshawn Lattimore was kind of an interesting one. Not like whoa, that's crazy, but just like, okay, that's it's interesting. You're letting go of kind of like a vet, like a really really good like cornerback. So
yeah,
I'm sure he's lost his step a little bit, but
somebody who probably in the next year or two is probably moving to safety. I feel like. I mean, he's still fast. Don't get me twisted, but
definitely depends on what team he goes to.
Yeah, I don't think he's that number one corner for you anymore. But as a solid number two, certainly a nickel, he can do all that.
And that window for cornerback being the guy, the number one Darrelle Revis shutdown cornerback, that's only like 2 or 3 years, really.
Feels like you don't get many Revises where it's like for a 7-8 year period he was the most dominant corner. Or Stephon Gilmore was another one where it was like he just shut people down all the way through and through, no matter
player
what.
Of the year, you thought he was going to turn into MVP, and then then he got cut like 2 years later. Like, whoa, okay.
And he's still playing, which is shocking. Like I'm like, wow, he was on the. I was like, wait, when did he get on the Colts? Like
was that Belichick's final FU to the Patriots? Was that? I feel like I think he cut him.
I think so. I mean, that's what Bill does. Bill always is like, I'm going to cut a guy before he's almost done, which I think the only guy he's ever done that to has to be Jones, the end, who went to Arizona. Chandler Jones, I think it was. Yeah, okay. Chandler Jones. He's the only one I think he probably cut because he ended up being like a 6-time Pro Bowler afterwards and made the All-Pro a bunch of times. But the one that recently happened, not surprising, but Trent McDuffie getting traded this morning, basically. Rams, or afternoon, I should say. Rams trade him for a first, a fifth, a sixth this year, and then a third-round pick in the 2027 draft, which obviously is kind of the Rams' signal of, their quote-unquote F those picks, combined with we're going for it because they were on the cusp of making the Super Bowl again. And had they had that shutdown corner, which Trent McDuffie's one of the best of them, like there's no doubt that probably would have helped them get over the Seattle Seahawks for sure. But for the Chiefs, I mean, we kind of talked about it a little bit beforehand, but Nick, this has to be a symbol of them kind of like saying, okay, this year is going to be a wash.
Oh yeah, they're definitely taking a knee. There's no way they're not.
Yeah,
I mean, they're not. Patrick Mahomes is going to do that coach speak, that player speak of like, oh, I'm gonna try and get in as quick as I can, no matter what the record
I'll
is.
be there soon.
Yeah, most likely when you're 2-9, by the time you're even on the chance to come back, you're probably not coming back. I don't think the Chiefs would ever even want to risk that. So, I mean, they don't have Gardner Minshew isn't their backup.
No, I can't. What is it?
I've been on the side of why don't the Chiefs not in the first round, but why not get a guy like Carson back?
I said that on Monday.
Just take a. What do they
take
have
a flyer
to lose
on them? Yeah.
What do they have to lose?
I said Garrett Nussmeier. Somebody who can get in there.
Like a Nussmeier in a Chiefs unit like that. That works.
Yeah, because the whole feeling I get is no matter what, he's going to go to the Saints and end up with his pops. Because his dad is the offensive coordinator for the Saints, for those that don't know. Which is why everybody, before college football, we were saying, like, why is he the top quarterback being taken in this year's draft? And everyone's like, oh, well, why would the Saints take him number one? Well, who's on New Orleans? His dad. That makes sense. But, yeah, no, Nussmeier to the Chiefs, I can 100% see that. Because he is like a Gardner Minshew. I got him comped to Gardner Minshew.
Okay.
Like, he could be a starter, but maybe more so just a kind of career backup, but can do the job, right? So, yeah, why not take that chance? But this is where the Chiefs, I don't know. I don't even know if they know what Travis Kelce's going to do still.
Yeah, that's the big one for sure.
Because then you might need to really think about, do we take Kenyon Sadiq instead of Jeremiah Love or somebody else? Like,
yeah, I mean, I'm just like,
I'm
just looking at this, like what they got back, grading the trade, like that's perfect for the Chiefs to get
a lot of capital.
Number 29 overall pick, the fifth of 2026 a fifth and a sixth rounder, and then a 2027 third round. That 2027 third round is actually that's pretty good.
No, that's a good pick.
I know it's like, oh, it's in a year or two. No, that third round pick at any time that could be pretty nice.
It's either a player or it's draft capital that you can trade away and maybe get higher in the draft, or a player. Like
it's definitely not the same comp. But when I did play Madden and did franchise mode, like third round picks were like my favorite to acquire then ship out because
absolutely
they feel like, even in the game, like they feel like, that's really good. That's a good value. I don't know.
I'm in the same boat. I love getting, because listen, you can flip thirds for seconds, and then you can flip those seconds and get an extra first. So now you're out of seconds, but now you got an extra first round pick, and that's how you get better in Madden, folks.
It's a boat with a mystery box. Love it.
Exactly. Or sometimes I like to be the guy who's got like 15 draft picks, and I'm just like, yeah, you know what? I'm drafting everybody. Yeah. I'm just drafting everybody. I'm taking all the chances on everyone.
Yeah, I don't hate that.
No, and listen, for the Chiefs at this point, it's not so much, again, about rebuilding. I think it's more so about retooling, where Travis Kelce is going to eventually retire. Patrick Mahomes isn't going anywhere. You need to up your run game, your offensive line. They cut you on Taylor, so you're going to need another tackle. There's so much to that team. And plus, are you going to keep Chris Jones too? Like, he's not happy. He can say whatever he wants. He's clearly not happy. And this move is not going to make him any happier. So I don't know where I think this is definitely, like you said, a take a knee, not tank, but we're not tanking the season kind of thing.
They're gonna need to basically just revamp this entire team.
So the problem then becomes too is like, well, then is Andy Reid gonna be around too? Like, there's so much with them that becomes a question on that. But look, listen, folks, this offseason right now is charging up to be one that is very interesting. I mean, we didn't even mention guys like Trey Hendrickson and others that are just going to be sitting out there trying to see if they can either get that big mega deal they were looking for, or possibly may have to end up with a team that they did not want to. So this is going, I mean, Kenneth Walker, the amount of running backs in this one too is going to be crazy now.
I think Walker didn't get the tag just because he was pretty outright. Like, I want to be back, so I'm sure they're pretty open with their negotiations.
Oh, I'm sure. And listen, after what he did, I think they'll be more than willing to give him a nice contract. But listen, even if they don't, you're not looking at Charbonnet going like, well, it's not like we got a bad running back either way. I mean, come on. So, it's an interesting group across the board. A lot of guys in here. Obviously, there's some old heads that we didn't talk about really. Tyreek Hill, what's his plan? Keep driving fast? Well, who knows?
He's got to recover from that broken leg first.
Exactly. Along with the baby mama interest that keeps occurring. On that, though, obviously, guys, let us know what you thought about for the free agency, for the franchise tag. We want to hear from you guys as always. Blow T Whistle 1 and all the social media stuff. Blow T Whistle Radio at gmail.com as well for any questions, comments, things like that, too. And, folks, when we come back, we're going to go a little bit off the rails because Nick has some thoughts, I'm sure, about the WWE and what's been occurring as of late in these last few days. We'll be talking about that here next on Blow the Whistle on SportsNowChicago.com.
He's right there. It's the bottom of the 7th inning. The last chance to order beer. But we didn't come here to drink beer. We came here to win this ball game.
Chicago's so lucky.
SportsTownChicago.com.
1, 2, 3 into the 4. Pizza at your house and you can get it at the store. Uh-oh, here we go. Chicagoland area. Little Caesars is heating up for the summer. Try our new Crazy Puffs, $3.99. Walk-in or delivery. 7 days a week. 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. filled with cheesy mozzarella, pepperoni, pizza sauce, buttery, garlic flavored drizzle, Italian herb and Parmesan seasoning, deep dish Detroit style pizza, $7.99, super cheesy bread, $5.99, hot and ready combo, $12.99, and for your daily deals, go to LitCaesars.com. Oh, Little Caesars with our crazy puffs and cheesy dreams, you light up my soul with your pepperoni schemes. With every slice we share, with every moment we dare in this piece of love affair, so you didn't hear that just here. You don't want to miss out on these delicious deals. Visit your Chicagoland area Little Caesars today. Cheese, cheese, cheese.
Nobody does food better than our friends south of the border. If you're looking for delicious, authentic Mexican food in Chicagoland's backyard, check out the Topos restaurant. Try their quesadillas, burritos, or my favorite, the 3-taco combo with steak and extra chipotle salsa.
Muy caliente!
They even have breakfast for early risers. Topos is the highest rated Mexican restaurant in Naperville on Yelp. Once you try it, you'll understand why. Visit totoposnaperville.com for their menu, special offers, and online ordering on Grubhub. Pickup or delivery. Topos restaurant, open nightly until 8:30, closed on Sundays, located next to the Jewel on Aurora Avenue in Naperville. Experience fresh, homemade Mexican at the Topos restaurant.
I got an affordable family-owned restaurant for you that won't cost you an arm and a lamb. It's Goodies in River Grove. My Goodies order never changes. A gyros, not a gyro. Smothered in sauce and hot fries on the side for less than $9. If I'm really starved, I'll add a chicken kebab to my order. Looking for more? Try a juicy cheeseburger, Chicago-style hot dogs, or a toasty corned beef meal. I can walk in 7 days a week, dine with my family, or call 708-583-1700. Pick it up and enjoy it at home. Can't stop in? Not a problem. Goodies delivers through Grubhub, DoorDash, and Seamless. Goodies is located at Cumberland, Belmont, River Grove. Goodies bring authentic Greek food to the Chicago.
It's the summer of coffee at Dunkin' Donuts. To reach peak summer mode, you need your summer coffee, like a smooth new s'mores frozen Dunkin' coffee, a refreshing butter pecan iced coffee, or a sweet coconut cream pie cold brew. What could be better than iced frozen coffee on a hot summer day? Nothing. Dunkin' Donuts has all your favorite flavors this summer. So come enjoy the summer of coffee and keep cool out there, kids. America runs on Dunkin'. Price and participation may vary. Limited time offer.
Looking for a great bargain? Want to find cool collectibles? Need to get fresh fruit and vegetables for the family? Come on down to Swapo Ramen. 3 great locations, 42nd and Ashland in Chicago, Melrose Park in Ulsa, with hundreds of indoor and outdoor vendors selling clothing, tools, electronics, and much, much more. Have stuff for sale? Become a Swapo Ramen vendor and turn your hidden treasure into cash. Visit their website for market days, hours, and vendor information. Go to swap-o-ramen.com. Swapo Ramen, the first name in flea markets.
Blow the whistle.
Going off the rails.
Another train!
And welcome back, everybody, here to Blow the Whistle here on SportsNowChicago.com. And we are going off the rails, folks. Yeah, that's right. And before we go off the rails, we did have some news.
Yeah?
Before we hit this, ladies and gentlemen. The Patriots, New England Patriots, have officially released Stephon Diggs, their wide receiver. So, I mean, yet another one that's going to be added to the free agency pool for the runner-up champions, the New England Patriots. Just
how many teams are lined up to call Stephon Diggs right now? With all the kerfuffle, all the behind the scenes garbage he's dealing with.
That's the interesting thing is like with all the news that seemingly feels like it broke just after the Super Bowl. Like I don't know why it feels like just after the Super Bowl it was like, by the way, here's all the news on Stephon Diggs. Like he's breaking up with Cardi B and she has his kid, and oh by the way, all this other stuff. Like I
just hope this isn't the veteran wide receiver that I was talking about way earlier that ends up joining the Bears somewhere down the line.
Where he signs and then all of a sudden it's like 9-game suspension.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh good, great. This is exactly what they needed. Does he even have a suitor at this point? Like who's gonna take the flyer on him unless you're a team that you feel like can take on the baggage?
Yeah, I mean, there's not one spot I can sit here and be like, oh, he needs to go there. He's a perfect fit here.
Yeah,
he can kind of find his way and make it, become a guy. But I feel like his talents are kind of not number one, number two even anymore in terms of where you're gonna go. So maybe if the Vikings want to just try some nostalgia or something like that, and he becomes the number 3 there,
could be maybe
behind. I don't know, him, Murray, and Justin Jefferson.
It feels like a lot of personality.
Yeah,
a lot of personalities.
I mean, yeah.
Sure.
If Speedy Reedy or Addison, excuse me, yeah, is it Addison or
Jordan Addison?
Yeah, Jordan Addison. Yeah, Addison. He had his own kind of issues off the field too. So
yeah, well, he took a page out of the Brandon Ayuk book. Another one who also, by the way, is planned to be really. I don't see where else it can go at this point either. Like
he's burnt every bridge. There's no way.
No one's gonna take a flyer. The UFL might take a chance with you, but that's
if those reports are even slightly true, like then he's never coming back.
He's so done. So I guess all the best to Stephon Diggs. Miami or Las Vegas, best of luck. Those feel like your homes. So. Here's to you, sir. I feel this feels like then the Patriots are pretty much saying somewhere in the draft they're loading up at wide receiver then, or they're making a play for somebody. I don't know where or who, but I'm this makes it a little bit more intriguing because now it opens up like they were just in the Super Bowl, so now what do they do?
Oh, I don't think they even come back even close.
Oh, don't think so?
I don't think.
Okay.
I don't think Drake May comes back to the Super Bowl ever in his career.
Oh, okay.
Unless he's a backup somewhere.
Wow.
I don't believe that it's happening. They're never going to be gifted this soft of a schedule again.
That's fair.
It's just not going to happen.
No.
We joke and say like, oh, he ha. That legitimately might have been mathematically the easiest path through the regular season and into the playoffs and into the Super Bowl.
I was going to say the playoffs definitely felt, and which by the way, they just barely squeaked into the Super Bowl. Like that was not the full strength Broncos that they were able to beat, but yet they still had problems. So
if that's my bold prediction.
No.
I don't feel like I'm going out on a limb and saying that I don't think Drake May will ever be back in the Super Bowl.
I don't necessarily disagree with that, honestly. There's a part of me that does think he can do it, but I think it's one of those things, like you just said, the planets have to align perfectly.
I think when he's a backup for the Ravens in like 6 or 7 seasons.
Jeez. Don't you mean replacing Lamar Jackson? I mean, come on.
Oh yeah.
I feel like that would be like Lamar's. Like, I'm leaving Baltimore. I'm going to Seattle because Sam Darnold's retiring early or whatever. I don't know, something like that. Crazy things might happen for sure. But yeah, best of luck to Stephon Diggs. But hey, Nick.
Hey.
There was a big wrestling event that happened this past weekend.
Sure did.
Along with a Raw that followed it. David and I kind of spoke about it a little bit, and we didn't talk about the Raw stuff, obviously, but obviously you and David will talk a lot more in depth about this, no doubt, on Friday. For Bad Karma Wrestling, folks, go check it out. Nick Johnston here, No Gimmick Johnston, with David W. Dykstra. They're going to be talking on Bad Karma Wrestling, all that stuff, and Scotty Keeper will be there, too, and I will be there as well.
Oh, I hope so.
Talking everything WWE and AEW as well, too. Which, by all means, Nick, obviously, I know AEW being one of your faves. By all means, on this, if you want to interject on the AEW talk there too, we can definitely do that as well. I'm more than happy.
I mean, there hasn't been all too much going on. They're kind of just chugging along. They're getting ready for Revolution, which is coming up. Probably, I think next week.
I think so.
Might be if it's not. I think it's Sunday. Either the 8th or the 9th. I can't remember. I'll pull it up in just a second.
Yeah, I can't remember.
Obviously, Elimination Chamber just happened in the Chicagoland area.
I like that.
Where no bars or any other local people could get a watch party in the Chicago area.
That's just.
Luckily, I did have some boots on the ground. My aunt went to the superstore with my aunt, and my uncle.
Nice.
Kind of checked that out. I don't know if they grabbed any gear, but it was that was cool. That was popping. So I did. If I wasn't up in 3 Lakes, I would have went down and went over to the shop, but didn't have the time for it. So they looked pretty cool, and then they went over to I forgot which one, but they went over to a Dave & Buster's like watch party where they have on the giant screen is kind of
nice,
kind of curved, and it's it's almost
so it's like
you're
almost
in there.
on you. Yeah,
you're almost in there, but you're not. Obviously, it's
that's
really
pretty cool. I like that.
I do like those experiences. Those are kind of cool. But
very IMAX-y-ish. Yeah.
Telling me day of like, we maybe could have went in there, but it was going to be $350 to just get in the door. So she's like, I'm okay. And I'm like, good.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Absolutely.
So overall, I mean, the experience of it was really cool from a lot of, like I said, a lot of people and family and friends that were over there. They said it was, really cool just being in the United Center.
The atmosphere itself.
The atmosphere was nice. They got a big pop for, of course, CM Punk coming out to the Bulls.
It was a cool entrance, I will say.
Yeah. I mean, just like the Bulls, CM Punk hasn't been relevant since 2011, so I feel like that was pretty well fitted. It was pretty solid right there. So it kind of makes sense. But I mean, I did not see the match itself. I'm sure it was okay. I heard it was a little flat the way that it was with Balor and Punk.
Yeah, like it, because I watched most of Elimination Chamber. Because now I'm starting to find my groove with it a little bit.
By the
more
way,
with
guys
wrestling,
and gals,
so-
sorry to cut you off.
Yeah.
If you have Comcast, I think you get ESPN Unlimited for free right now, probably for like a couple weeks or maybe the month.
Yes.
So hop
Something
if
like
you
that.
check your emails.
Yes.
If you're still a Comcast user,
They
so hop on in
they
there.
should have sent you something that's
Yeah.
like, hey, you can get it for free.
Yeah.
Watching their match, it was very much kind of like the basics of wrestling, which was fine for the match that it was. Like, I wasn't expecting anything too complex from these guys. How many times they face each other and everything, I get it, but like, it was still, I would say, an okay match. But obviously, when you're talking about a title, the title's on the line, you're kind of hoping for a little bit more kind of back and forth, a little bit more kind of, that's a moment.
I'm sure there's probably a moment where they could have teased like, Finn Balor was literally this close to winning.
Yes.
I'm sure maybe that was lacking. But again, I haven't watched it. I'll have to try and backtrack on that one. I heard the women's chamber was very solid.
Spot on.
Not all too much to critique there. I think we were pretty good with our predictions of it kind of has to be Rhea if they're gonna do Rhea, or if they're gonna do Jade Cargill versus someone that's legit. It has to be Rhea.
Although it sounds like they're at each other's throats.
Yeah, we'll get into that.
I was gonna say I can't wait for that for Friday.
The Twitter the X exchange will be fun to kind of break down there.
This is a Thundercats fight right now. My God.
And she's done that cosplay like the Jade Cargill with
I was
the
gonna
Thundercats.
say,
So
yeah.
maybe
One for the win. There you go.
But I think that was the correct choice. Man, Tiffany Stratton just looks like she gets beat the hell out of after like she's bleeding from her nose. She got a black eye. Like
I was gonna say because I was talking with David, the look that she came out with I think was better. I said it was like Gem and the Holograms. I don't know if you know that cartoon.
I've heard of it.
It's a rock and roll kind of 80s, 90s ish cartoon.
Did they do a crossover with Scooby Doo?
They might have actually. I don't know. They might have. But she very much I'm hoping that this is maybe like I'm just spitballing here, like a transition where it's like I'm going more of like the punk rocker look to then where maybe she shifts into like I'm gonna go full heel. That's what I'm hoping.
Okay.
But yeah, she got bludgeoned for sure. So but credit to her, like she stood in there and took it. Like I have a full credit.
Yeah. We talked about. Well, I know. Last time we had an episode, we talked about Sol Ruka, who was going to have her character change, which she did on this past NXT. Apparently, I'm going to steal your soul. But I think Stratton, kind of what we were saying. If there was somebody that needs a refurbish, a new version of herself, Stratton is kind of on that on that precipice almost of like, all right, we're getting a newer version of her. Let's see how this kind of unfolds. So
Yeah.
I think that was a good decision for them to be the final two, and then for Rhea to get over. That was the right way to do it.
Absolutely.
Clearly leading into a spicy back and forth between herself and Cargill. So we'll see how that plays out. AJ Lee winning the title against Becky.
Kind of saw it coming.
Yeah, it's fine. I'm sure it's fine.
It was a good match. I mean, I those two always put on a performance. It's just, again, it wasn't. I wasn't sitting there going like, oh my god. It was just like, yeah, AJ can still bring it. Like,
I think that's kind of what she was trying to prove to herself, and also as well to the fans of like, can she really still truly go? And it's it's been pretty safe the way that they've been using AJ Lee because. Of her 3-4 appearences, 2 of them have been with Becky Lynch so far.
Basically,
it's the right way to do it. If you, like I said, you don't want to expose anybody in any sort of way. If you don't want to have that happen, have a correct dance partner in Becky Lynch. So that's the right way to go.
Yeah, definitely.
So again, I said I haven't watched it. I'll definitely try and get my free trial and hop on in there. And then finally, the men's chamber.
Oh God!
I mean. My first reaction was, oh no, because when I went back to watch the highlights on YouTube, not a millisecond of LA Knight in the highlight package. You would have thought it was a 5-man elimination.
Somebody pointed that out on Twitter. They're like, why was WWE's highlights of the Elimination Chamber, why was LA Knight not given anything?
Like, even last night, they replayed Logan Paul dropping Javon Evans on his head.
Yeah,
they played that before they played any LA Knight stuff.
I was going to say, like, the one where a man's career and maybe life almost ended.
They were more than okay with replaying that on Netflix.
Of course.
But, I mean, again, I did see the botch of him slipping up, but he still did the elbow, LA Knight. So it's just, he just probably feels like, and I think he definitely is, under a microscope, under any small thing that he does. So that just that was my big like, what the hell? Because the only like idea again that like, he was even in the match, they just kept going, Logan Paul has eliminated 3 people. Logan Paul's eliminated 3 people. I'm just sitting there, I'm like, well, Cody's still there, Logan's still there.
So
he just got rid of Trick Williams.
Yeah.
And Randy's still in the pod. So.
Who's left?
Well, I guess he got rid of LA Knight before the lights even turned on.
I mean, like, say his name for God's sakes.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah,
he may appear. I guess.
That was brutal. So that was one of my big takeaways. Obviously, like I said, Logan having Javon Evans land on his head. That's not a good look.
Yeah,
bud.
no, that adds more to the fuel of a lot of people, which has I've been seeing a lot more of the talk on. WWE wrestlers are like, look, Logan's a great athlete and all that, but as far as a wrestler who can get his spots, they're very frustrated with him because sometimes he gets it perfectly and it looks great, and then there's other times where it's just off, and it's almost like, yeah, but it's the off where we almost can be severely injured.
Yeah, and
you're still a neophyte in this business, if you will.
It'd be the first time I kind of hear something like that, but if there is like like we should maybe look into something like that. Did you see the interaction that kind of went viral between Logan Paul and Kevin Owens during the 2K overalls like reaction party on ESPN?
Yeah,
that back and forth was it didn't give me like, oh, they're just having like that was almost shoot on both sides. Like Kevin Owens was definitely just like, what are you doing? Like, why are we doing this right now?
Yeah, he seemed very confused about like, why are we having this interaction like this?
Like we got like a Logan Paul like back in the day, like a YouTube Logan Paul kind of energy.
Yes,
you've got Vine Logan Paul energy in that clip, and he kind of brought that up. He goes, "This is like just the next job for you. This is like our lives." Like,
yeah, like it's like as you said once, it's like, oh, it's a hobby for Kyler Murray. Like that's what this feels like for Logan. Like you've done the boxing thing, now you want to do the wrestling thing, but you're not doing this full time. Like Chelsea Green was the one that I saw the whole backstage thing where Chelsea's like, yeah, I haven't. He's like, I've been here like every night, and she's like, oh, I'm sorry, who's been like sweating it out in the indies and like working her way up through? Oh, that's right, me. Who's got the belt right now? Moi. And she walks away, and I'm like, well, that's like the final nail in the coffin for anything you've got to say. Like you've been here for a cup of coffee.
I think Kevin said something along the lines of, it's going to go under the radar as like that like that's not that big, but it was a huge burn considering like he goes, yeah, you're overall higher than so and Sami Zayn, who in real life you could never lace their boots. So
I didn't see that.
Yeah, so he said that, which again, it's gonna kind of fly under the radar, which is not like that's a super impactful burn, but it truly is. That's the truth. That was the truth, kind of hidden within all the kerfuff, all
Sami
the fluff.
Zayn could run circles around that guy as far as wrestling goes. Like,
Actually in ring wrestling.
Yeah, absolutely.
But having it all kind of unfold. I'm not a fan of outside interference in a chamber. I'm not really a fan of outside interference in a Hell in a Cell or just a steel cage, even in general. So I feel like
it's got to make sense, and it never really does with those moments, like when you're in those chambers or cells or anything like that. It just doesn't feel right.
Yeah, no, it's just having all that, having Seth Rollins being the big reveal. It was a nice, I guess, twist out of nowhere. Where we kind of felt like, all right, it's gonna be Cody, and then just it's Randy.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, cool. I like that. And then, of course, it turns into what we're now thinking of, like, oh, great, it's not even going to be McIntyre and Orton anymore. It's going to be Cody Rhodes and Orton because, of course, the upcoming SmackDown. Yeah, that'll happen this coming Friday. So,
which, I mean, David and I were talking about that, like, the storyline that could build between Cody and Randy feels like it could be stronger because it was like, oh, we're going to do Drew and Cody again.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
sure, but I feel like if you keep giving Drew the title and he only has these 2 or 3 month reigns where he even starts this title reign with like, oh, it's because Jacob Fatu interfered. That's how he got it to begin with, and then he's gonna lose it on a Friday night SmackDown.
Yeah,
like, how legit do you want him to be when it comes to the title picture again? And all that to turn into maybe he goes up against Nick Aldis, which I was trying to pull up in the comments, like, respectfully. WWE fans have no idea what Nick Aldis has done in his career other than being a suit.
Right. No, and I think that's a fair point. I think I read that out too, and I think it's a fair point. I think it's great for Nick Aldis and for those that would understand it, but for the current WWE fan, you're right. I don't know how many of them would understand the magnitude of that moment. Other than, and I think for Drew's sake, I mean, I think he's at his hottest right now. I don't think he's ever been as big. So I understand where, like you're saying, and I've seen other people say, where like him versus Aldis, like, what does that really do for Drew? Like, this is more than just for Nick kind of things. Like, it's more of a nostalgia feel. Which, okay, fine.
It'll be a nostalgia feel again for of the 40,000 people that are going to be at WrestleMania, all 400 that are going to remember, oh, I remember that Nick Aldis ROH. Remember when he won the NWA title? They're going to hear NWA and they're going to be like, he was tag team champions with Ice Cube?
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly.
What?
No, folks. No, not even close. But no, that's a totally fair point. I and that's why I wanted you to talk about this as well, because me and David kind of glossed a little bit on it. I know,
and I'll bring it up again. Points. I'll bring it up again to David on Bad Karma, but he kind of brought up like the comparison of bringing in Nigel McGuinness, which even then I would argue like, cool, but was it really necessary?
Yeah,
no, like we're not really gonna get anything of it, and he was in not like a singles match. He was in that little the like a gauntlet almost, like coming out. Yeah. So it wasn't like, oh, we're setting aside this talent to only go up against Nigel McGuinness. No, it was like a mystery, like, oh, okay, he's coming out.
Right. He's just facing whoever and whatever. Yeah, no, absolutely. No, I mean, like I said, I didn't mind Elimination Chamber, but I wasn't my favorite. I thought the Raw after, though, I thought it was very good. I will give I'll give it credit. Like,
Penta winning the title. That was solid. That's exactly what you need.
So happy for that.
Yeah, that's just I
mean, Dominic doesn't need that. Doesn't need the Intercontinental title.
No, and I think he's still dealing with lingering injury, which they're probably just kind of being cautious with, and rightfully so. He's going to be their breadwinner for the next 10 years.
No doubt. No, he's perfect, spot on. But I'm glad to see that Penta got his moment, because he's like Paul Heyman says in the Unreal stuff. He's like, we've got something there, and clear as day, like, everybody loves this dude. Now having the title on him, brilliant. Absolutely loved it.
Again, you doesn't need to be like I guess where with Tony Khan, where you get your new toy and you immediately throw a title on him.
Right.
But it was getting to the point where, okay, what are you doing with Penta? What are you doing with Ray Phoenix?
Yeah.
What have you done with the Motor City Machine Guns since you've signed them?
Yeah, they're just sitting there collecting dust, basically.
There's been reports, no action going on, no idea what they're going to do with Royce Keys, Powerhouse Hobbs. So
they sign him, and then it's just kind of like, all right, like he's on the
don't
shelf.
worry, already got Danhausen on TV.
Hey, you know what? Listen,
that'll be the last point there where the booing, I don't think it was directed at him. It wasn't the
more
fans,
towards WWE.
Yeah, the fans were just probably more upset that they probably were going to think there was more.
Yeah,
that's what they were mad. They weren't booing because it was just Danhausen. They weren't booing Danhausen. They were booing because it was just Danhausen.
Yes,
that's where I'm kind of saying.
It's like, okay, so this is what we've been waiting for all this time with the box. You've been trying to sell this thing to us, and now this is what we get. And I get it. There's some people that are probably upset because he's a little bit more cartoonish. He's a little bit more on the goofy side. I don't know if I'm sure you probably were listening maybe when I gave my little spiel on it, on what they could do with the teaming up of R-Truth. But I understand it's goofy, and I think your comment about like, what would that do for the tag team titles? Which I get. My whole thing was just, I just think it would be funny for the comedic effect of anything of you pair these two guys up, but it's R-Truth just continuously thinking he's paired up with Sting. Which I know I don't think you can use, but
no, I don't think so.
It'd just be funny if he keeps thinking like it's not Danhausen, it's somebody else.
I do like that he thinks Adam Pearce is Stone Cold Steve Austin in disguise.
Yes, exactly.
That one is pretty good. He goes, Cold Steve with the glasses. Good one.
Exactly.
I guess, yeah, good one. I understand. His list of demands were already fun. Like again, you know what you're getting with Danhausen. You're getting comedy. He's not going to come in. Yeah, he's not going to come in and be, main event at WrestleMania and just inch his way into between CM Punk and Roman Reigns and then automatically becomes a triple threat. That's not happening. But
it'd be funny.
Yeah. But again, you're going to get that nice little. I mean, he curses Dominic, and that leads to Penta. If that becomes a small thing, I wouldn't mind that, where you kind of have your comedy acts kind of intertwining and make it that way, where he becomes a big piece maybe behind the scenes type, in terms of like having a ton of backstage stuff happen, where he's like, oh, we're always looking for Danhausen. Like he's always he's cursing people left and right, or
kind of like
that.
Joe Hendry was like in those early moments with NXT.
Yeah, and you probably you're not going to see a lot of in-ring matches with Danhausen. I feel like you're going to see a Santino Marella role or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not horrible. It's not a must. It's not the big get, obviously, but.
I mean, at some point, if you do, I think it doesn't have to happen right away. If you do want to put the tag team titles on him and R-Truth, if that were to happen, I think it'd be fine. But that's why David said for like a month. And I was like, you know what? That feels about right. Give him a month to kind of like eat it up and kind of be like, we are the tag team champions. He goes, yeah, me and Danhausen, he doesn't have to say it, but keep having him like almost say it kind of thing. But I just think for a month, you give it a little bit of comedy, give it a little bit of fun, take the titles off of them, put them on some new guys, right? Like Leon Slater and Javon Evans kind of tag team up if that was when they do something like that. Like a way to kind of transition maybe the titles over to somebody new if that's the case.
Very, very evil, very confused can be a decent little tag team.
Yeah, absolutely. Their bounce backs I think could be so good.
Yeah.
And like you said, their backstage stuff, R-Truth always knocks it out of the ballpark, I feel, and you add in a guy like Danhausen, who I love his character and I love his bits. Like the curse thing is going to be the next thing that starts to explode now.
Oh yeah,
that's if it's not already there. I've seen people already making it their profile pics. So he's already having an impact. And like I said last time on Monday, he did sell more merch than CM Punk did at AEW.
Makes sense. I mean, people are already putting this together. I'm assembling a team. It's Danhausen, Mr. Iguana, Kit Wilson, R-Truth. I keep seeing those four, and I keep adding. I go, add Joe Hendry, and you got the meme team. You got it.
You know what?
That's all you need.
I'm not against it.
Yeah.
I'm not against. You know what? If you did tell me that that was going to be a faction,
Avengers Assemble.
It's an off-brand Avengers.
Yeah.
I would not be against that by any means. It's a goofy group, but listen, a little bit of that childish humor. It's not against the world in the WWE. I don't think.
I mean, what was the? You may not even know. What was the Oh my God, big giant guy. It was John Tenta. Then led by ICP.
Yeah.
Not the Rascals. That's the current guys.
Shoot, I can't remember.
Oh my God.
This is it's gonna eat at me now. I can't. I know exactly what you're talking about, but I can't put my finger on what his name is. God.
I'm looking.
Okay.
Hold on. The Oddities. There
The
we
Oddity.
go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. I know what you're
Can we
talking
get
about.
another form of the Oddities?
The Oddity, sure. Why not?
Yeah.
I'm all for. Listen, the way they got those guys. Again, as you said, they're not going to make it into the main championship roster talent, things like that. But as guys that can be spliced in there every once in a while to get take a beating from some of these dudes like Obafemi or anything like that, or have a little fun match or something like that, there's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
It adds, if anything, another element that WWE can hopefully use properly or completely mess up with. It's all on them at this point.
Oh, yeah, big time.
I don't know what's up with them anymore. We'll see, though. We'll see.
Yeah. We'll break down more on Bad Gum Wrestling over on Fridays.
That's going to be on Friday, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure to tune into that at 11 o'clock, 11:30 a.m. Central Time.
Right on our YouTube page.
On the
Bad
YouTube
Karma
page. Absolutely. Bad Karma. That's Karma with a K, by the way. Karma with a K. Keep that in mind. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for us here on Blow the Whistle. Nick, this has been an absolute pleasure, my friend.
Absolutely.
I enjoyed doing the show with you, and I'm glad you were able to come in here, man, and get one done with me.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to hear us anymore, you guys can always hear us right here on the YouTube side and sportsdownchicago.com on Monday, Wednesday, and I don't know if we're going Friday. I have to double check on that. But
Why wouldn't we?
I don't know. I can't remember. I don't remember if David said we were going or not. I don't know. I can't remember. Our schedules are all over the place. But if you're here, then I think we're going for Friday. We're doing it then. All right. Outside of that, folks, you can obviously follow us at Blow T Whistle 1 on all the social media stuff. You know where to find the social media at. And, of course, Blow T Whistle Radio at gmail.com, too, for any questions, comments, things like that as well. Bad Karma Wrestling, again, Friday, 11 a.m. Central Time on YouTube. Go check it out. My show, X-Bomb Sports, going to be right after that. Myself and Scotty Kiefer, we're going to be talking everything sports under the sun, probably a lot of stuff we talked today, and then some more. As well, answering your questions, comments, things like that. As always, we appreciate it. That's going to be on the X-Bomb Sports YouTube page and Twitch at around 12:30-ish Central Time, give or take, p.m. Central Time. With that, ladies and gentlemen, as always, stay positive, be positive. Positive things will happen to you. We will see you guys on Friday for another fantastic, wonderful, amazing show. But if we don't, then we will see you guys 100% next week on Monday. So thank you all so much for watching, listening. And as always, peace out, everyone.
This is your home for sports.
It's the best fans in the world.
No better team.